Hey, what's happening, Dynamites, and welcome to another football discussion at the Dynasty. So today I've been going through some of the transfer gossips, being Wednesday the 9th of July, just to keep up to speed with what's happening. Of course, I've been following all the transfer rumors, and a lot of it centered around Barcelona and their fight to replace Neymar after they accepted the £198 million bid, or 222 million euros, from PSG. So Barcelona have been running around trying to scurry up a replacement, and there's quite a big impact that the Neymar transfer has had on clubs and Barcelona themselves. So in particular, let's just look at the BBC quickly and see what's happening today. And a lot of it is, of course, revolving around Felipe Coutinho, Eden Hazard, and Ousmane Dembele. So if we just scurry over to the website and take a look. So as we see at 7:30 this morning, Barcelona want to sign Liverpool's Brazil playmaker Felipe Coutinho by the end of the week. Now I've been keeping up to date with the Mirror, and their story conflicts every single time. They had a story piece early on in the week that said Barcelona and Liverpool to wrap it up by Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, now it's until the end of the week. I just don't know. You see, you cannot believe everything you read in the papers, and it's more so specifically when it comes to football. Barcelona have now been to London, Liverpool. They've been to Liverpool twice. They've been to London once to sew up a deal, and that was while Neymar was still at the club. I don't know. You use your judgment. On the one hand, Liverpool are saying, well, it doesn't matter what you bid. We're blocking it. We don't care if the player wants to go. This story is saying that the players revealed his desire to leave. Until someone comes out and says something, nothing's happened. So, the Spanish media are notorious for tapping up players that Barcelona or Real Madrid seemingly want. And they treat every transfer like a done deal. And just for once, I would love to see them end up with egg on their faces. All of them. I would love for Barcelona not to actually get anybody. Force them to use players from the youth academy like they used to, and perhaps a superstar comes out. They just brought back Gerard Deulofeu. Now, we're not saying much to this player by whooping him back from Everton and AC Milan and saying, well, we'll give you an opportunity, and you don't give him an opportunity because you want to replace him with a superstar. We know Neymar's a big loss. We know that. But Barcelona was once known for putting in youngsters, for bringing them in through the La Masia Academy and blooding them. Lionel Messi wouldn't be here today if they didn't blood that boy. Sergio Busquets wouldn't be here today if they didn't blood that boy. Guys like Fabregas and Piqué had to leave the club just to get some game time. You wouldn't have an Iniesta, you wouldn't have a Xavi if you didn't blood them. And this is the prime opportunity for Barcelona to start blooding some of their own talent. Or do they not believe in their talent? I remember Xavi said in an interview not so long ago that they've gotten complacent when it comes to talent. Ooh. And that is probably true. So, Barcelona, use your talent. Madrid are absolutely rubbing their hands right now at the aging Barcelona team. And going to go and spend copious amounts of money, it's not going to fix your problem. Barcelona got bigger problems than Neymar leaving. As you can see at the bottom there, it says, but Liverpool are refusing to sell Coutinho, as a Barcelona delegation flew to England to negotiate a deal, and they're willing to up their bid to 120. And that's from the Star. So there were other reports last night flying around that said Liverpool had agreed a fee of 90 mil plus add-ons or something silly like that in principle. And now today we're getting stories that actually Barcelona are going to up the bid to 120. 120 is not enough in this market. We're seeing defenders going for £50 million. 120 for an attacking player is chump change, and Barcelona are known for ripping people off. And this is only on Coutinho so far. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the other players that they linked with. So there you have the Gareth Bale story, where Perez came out and said Gareth Bale's not moving to Man United after Mourinho said that he would die. He would fight to sign Gareth Bale. And then last night he said, well, no, that's game over. So, a lot of clubs involved in tapping up. That side of the game is just not cool for me. It's a bit dastardly. It's not what the beautiful game is, and all this corporate rubbish and baloney and money flying around. I think football in that sense has lost its soul. I mean, you've got owners now that, I'm not a local boy of Liverpool, let's put it that way, but you have owners now that are interested more in the money side of things, and the business side of things, than the football side of things. Football's a simple game. I mean, yeah, let the money men handle the money, but don't interfere with the coaching staff and the players. And don't, I mean, I'm looking at the situation. If FSG sell Liverpool's Coutinho, they, like Jamie Carragher said, would have a riot on their hands. Simply because they're showing no ambition of winning anything. They just before a big Champions League campaign or a big season, they're always selling their best player. And that's just to balance the books. Liverpool don't need to balance the books. They have enough money to do so. They're in a position now they can hang on to their player. They can do what Man United did with De Gea and say, no way such, boy. No such. You signed 5 years. And until we decide you're going to be sold, you're going to be sold. Someone put it very nicely in one of the comments. And this was on the Van Dijk saga. They said Van Dijk signed 5-year deal. He signed a 5-year deal. That meant he gave away his powers to the club. He gave away his rights to the club when he signed that. You can't say you have to let me go. 6 months ago, you signed a 5-year deal. You became the most expensive Southampton defender in terms of wages. So you were happy to sign that. So you can't be unhappy now and say you gotta let me go. Those clubs are corporations. If you and me went to our boss and said, and it's different because, I mean, it's almost a lifetime contract, so you can't put in a resignation and go. But you were bought by this club. I can't go tell you, look, I'm unhappy, I'm out. They'll fire you. That's basically what it becomes to. And footballers live in a different world to us. And it shows because they just absolutely do what they want. And clubs need to take a stand, and it doesn't work that way. The clubs are an institution. They are an institution. And look, Barcelona couldn't do anything about Neymar going, but they perform the same practices as what PSG did to them. In fact, they're absolutely lucky that PSG bought him for the full release clause, because Barcelona know not even to pay the release clauses. They tap up a player, players are happy, he gets sold for less. That's their tactic, and they want to do that again. So, I mean, that story there, nothing going on there. Conte wanting Spurs fullback Danny Rose. I don't know about this transfer really. Danny Rose has been a little bit injury prone of late, and I don't know why. I mean, is that for depth? Because I didn't see any problems with Marcos Alonso last season. I thought he was fantastic. So if you're gonna go and spend 50 mil on Rose, he becomes a starter, but you're absolutely then showing no faith in Marcos Alonso. And I'm not a Chelsea supporter, but man, rather get a youngster in and let him learn and build him for years. I mean, Rose is already what? Is he 25? Is it 26? Something like that. I'm not. Oh, it's 27. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get what, 3-4 years out of him, and then that's going for that price. Nah, I don't think so. And I don't see Spurs letting another one of their key fullbacks go after they just sold Kyle Walker. I mean, Spurs are going into the season with a little bit of trouble because they were in a position where they could buy top level talent, but they didn't. And that's, I think, if you're a Spurs supporter, you're gonna be a bit disappointed by the market, or the movement in the market. That's just a Busquets transfer. I mean, nothing really to say there. If he leaves, that's for a new challenge. This Riyad Mahrez thing is still going on for weeks. I think that'll go down to the wire. I think Mahrez is probably on his way. There's no way that Leicester are going to get 50 million for him. So maybe Roma, it's going to end up maybe around 40 mil, probably. The Alexis Sanchez one, I mean, for me that's a very interesting development. Are PSG in him for 80 mil? Yes, we know they've been linked for weeks with him. Are they willing to spend 80 mil? I don't know. But Wenger said he's not for sale. And whilst I believe him, we've seen Arsenal also have a form for selling a player in his final year for big money. It happened with Van Persie, so it's not to say it can't happen again. And let's face the facts here. 80 mil for a player on 1 year left might be just too good to turn down. It's just how the game is. It's money, and when you have money, it talks. And Sanchez, we know, is not gonna sign a new deal. He's pretty much out the door. He didn't even play on the weekend in the Community Shield. He wasn't even in the match day squad. So there's a lot to be said about that. And usually when that happens, when there's nothing wrong with the player and he's left out, then you know there's a problem and the manager's looking at other options. So this PSG Sanchez thing, I think keep an eye out for that. It might develop even further. Sergio Aurier we know about as well. The Virgil van Dijk saga, as we know, it's been going on forever. The Ben Woodburn link. So that's pretty much about it from the BBC side. What I want to actually focus on after all that ranting about Barcelona and Coutinho is Barcelona's tactics in trying to get different targets. Like I said, I've seen the same story go around 3 times for 3 different players. First, Barcelona officials land in London. So that must mean they're at Chelsea, because they're going to go speak to Chelsea about Hazard. Then no, Barcelona officials landed in Liverpool. So they must be off to go and talk about Coutinho. But no, apparently they also landed in Germany, in Dortmund, to go speak to Ousmane Dembele. So I heard there's 3 officials, which tells me that, okay, one official's probably in Liverpool, one official's probably in London, and another official's in Dembele. So are Barcelona going to buy all 3 players, and where are they going to play these 3 players? Coutinho, I understand, you'll play him next to Iniesta, for sure. Hazard and Dembele play in the same position. So you just hedging your bets or something? I mean, you can't hoover up all the talent in the world and then be like, yeah, okay, now we sorted. It doesn't work that way. And then in any case, Barcelona are on the downward spiral. They're not the force they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. They're not. It's firmly now Real Madrid who are at the top of the food chain. Even the appointment now, I mean, no disrespect to the Atletico Bilbao coach they just joined recently. I mean, I'm sure he's a good coach. But who? I mean, we don't know how this season is going to pan out. We don't know that. Luis Enrique was a good coach. Coaches before, they were all good coaches. We don't know. We don't know how it's going to pan out. They're a team that's struggling. They got old players. They're not buying sensibly. They're not bringing in La Masia candidates. And the ones that they do bring in, they're playing him at right back when he's a defensive mid. It just shows you the fast that is happening at their club right now. And I think if you go play there now, you might be playing in an era where it's on the dip. Just a little bit on the dip. Because it's been happening. I mean, they conceded 4-0. 4 goals against PSG. They're lucky they won that game. Did it again and lost the next one. And it just shows you that they got problems that they're not covering up. They linked with another player, Ignacio Martinez from Sociedad. Also tapping him up. I mean, that guy, you see the story there. They're saying he's unhappy. I think he was away with one of his training sessions, and he said, well, why didn't the club say that he was back? So you can see how that's going already. And I mean, it goes back to, why would Neymar jump ship? You know, does he know something we don't? So, nah. You know, Barcelona and the underhanded tactics, it just goes on. Now you're hearing stories that Hazard has told Conte, I want out. And you had stories that Coutinho told Klopp, he wants out. And Dembele is now also told his Dortmund manager that, he wants out. You know, he's unhappy. He's going to let the club decide. Then there's still on the other side, there's Paulo Dybala. And Dybala is a fantastic talent. I'd have him any day. But they're tapping him up as well and making him unhappy. And this is what they do. This is Barcelona in a nutshell. Okay. Chelsea Styles to tell Conte he wants to leave. He's ready to replace Neymar. Then he's telling Madrid he wants to leave. So I guess Hazard just wants to leave. And he wants the Madrid gig. Coutinho, we know. Deal's been agreed for weeks. Apparently. But no. I'm sorry. we do know that that's all a lot of rubbish, because apparently he's agreed to go and everybody's he's willing to hand, but then listen, look at this one. Coutinho's willing to hand in transfer request to force move. A day before he wanted a nice and clean transfer resolution. So is he gonna force the move or not? The media, I mean, my gosh, it really is a farce. But anyway, I mean, we know how they work. And then Dortmund to open up talks with Barcelona selling Dembele. This is what I believe. I believe that Barcelona are probably going to end up with one of these targets. And I know a lot of people say it's Coutinho more likely than any of the others. My firm belief, and maybe I'm biased, of course, Liverpool supporter, but my belief is that this man on the screen here, Dembele, is the most likely candidate to be snapped up by Barcelona. He was a target as well before, and I mean, if Dortmund do get something like 100 mil for him, they'll sell. That's just how it's gonna go, and that's unfortunate, because I would love to see this player develop more at Dortmund, and I'd like to see Coutinho develop more at Liverpool. And if he's serious about becoming a legend at the club, if he's serious about becoming or having a statue there, then yeah, he needs to stay. And it's not going to happen at Barcelona. He's just going to be another number. So, I mean, that's the transfer rumors, really dominated by Barcelona and this knock-on effect of Neymar's move. And I think the problem here is, if you're a club and it's this late in the window and your season's about to begin on the weekend, you've got no incentive to sell. You're not going to replace whoever you sell now, no matter how much money is in your hand. And the thing is here, what is better at this stage right now? The money in your hand, or ensuring that your season goes off without edge? And for the staff, the Liverpool coaching staff and Klopp, and the Chelsea coaching staff and Conte, and the Dortmund coaching staff, you prefer to keep on hold of your player. But the higher ups, the guys dealing with the money, they want the money. They want dividends. They want that paid out. They want revenue and profits. That's all they care about. And that's such a sad disconnect, because, basically their approach to it is stuff the fans. Fans don't matter. Fans don't know what they want. This is not Apple. You can't tell the fans they don't know what they want. They know what they want. They want trophies. They don't want new products, new ways of scamming them out of money. They don't want that. They just want to see their team win stuff. And I've been a Liverpool supporter since I was like 6. And all I ever wanted was to win stuff. And yeah, it takes a whole lot of energy to support this club, because we don't win as much as we should. No league title in a long time, over 20 years. It's approaching 30 almost. So, I mean, yeah, Liverpool need to pull it out, and they need to keep hold of their players. And I think the same holds true for Dortmund. I would tell Dortmund the same thing. You can't let Lewandowski go. You can't let Götze go. And you cannot let Dembele go. You cannot let Pulisic go. You can't let any of those players go. I mean, Weigl, you cannot let any of them go. If you let them go, you're going to suffer. Chelsea are short of depth, but they've got a lot of quality. But they cannot let Hazard go. That's their main man. If they let him go, they're in big trouble. These are game changers. So, Barcelona, I'm sorry for you. You let one of your game changers go, but you still got like 3 or 4 other game changers anyway. So you fine. Okay? Maybe getting older. They're all like 30 plus, but you fine. You're fine. I don't think anyone's going to sell their players at this stage in the window. And you got to think about it as well. Barcelona are weak right now. They're at the weakest point they've been in years. Simply because they let one of their star men go. And if you're a Champions League team, that's a rival that's weaker. Hell no, am I saying to you. You can sit back and you can struggle and we'll be fine. I wouldn't tell Barcelona anything. I don't want to make them stronger and I'm in Champions League. No ways. No ways. If we come and we have to play them, I don't have to face my former player and have a strengthened Barcelona. They can have all that money, but no one to sign. So they may as well just let the La Masia candidate come through. Anyway, that's been my football discussion. I'm Wade 10. If you like the video, please leave a like. Smack the subscribe button. And leave me a comment on your thoughts on this whole transfer saga and this window. It's promising to be quite a window. It's probably the biggest window we've ever seen. So yeah, leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. I'll gladly just get into it. If you didn't agree with anything I said, that's cool too. You can leave a comment on that as well. I'm the Way 10. This is the Dynasty. Till next time, peace.